This video is sponsored by Squarespace, an impressive and intuitive tool to engage your audience.
Hey guys, it's a beautiful sunny day in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I'm underneath the train bridge on the Mewasin and I'm bored. I've fixed all the furniture, so it's time to break something. So I'm going to throw this chair right off the bridge and then I'm going to have to fix it. Splinters, firewood. Oh, she took a hit. Look at this. Oh yeah, we got pieces of wood everywhere. This is so exciting. Got some hardware damage. How'd the arms fare? And we lost a whole side, guys. Yeah. All right, guys, we've got all the pieces, I think. You know, there could be some lost in there. Look at this one. Yikes. It's going to be hard to fix. Super amazing damage. So let's get to the shop and see if we can put this chair back together and maybe even make it beautiful. What do you think? After growing up in my dad's restoration shop and learning everything he knows, I'm continuing on with the business in my own shop. And after 25 years, I can truly say I love this job and I just have to share it with you. Whether it's a priceless 300-year-old hand-carved piece of history or just an ordinary table or dresser, I pour my heart into each and every piece a customer brings me. I'm Trena, and this is John's Furniture Repair. Okay, so I've got it here in the shop, and yes, I am aware that I am fully responsible for all of this breakage, which that never happens. For once, I get to be the person who needs the furniture repair, and I get to do it for myself. So I'm sorry if that upset anybody, throwing a chair off the bridge. It's really disrespectful to furniture. But there was about 25 of these at a Restore, and we bought one for 10 bucks and thought we'd have some fun on the internet. And it doesn't mean I don't have other work. I'm just crazy. Like, I've got an entire shop full of work that I still have to do before we move, but I'm just trying to have some fun here. So bear with me. This piece here is the back leg. That's a pretty gnarly break, but a nice long break. So when you have something that breaks, if it breaks like this, it's a good thing. You can get a lot of glue surface on this piece. The only bad thing about this is that there's a joint at the top here, so we'll take a look at that later. But these other pieces are quite bad. This one here particularly, we've got some serious fracturing, and I am going to get every one of those fibers to come back down together. No cheating for me. And then this piece here, which is worse, getting all of these little fibers straightened out. I know we're gonna have some breakage. It looks like it's, you know, kind of broken off all of the fibers here, but we're gonna fix that. And then we've got a bunch of little pieces here that I'll keep around, hopefully to find homes with. So the chair itself wasn't looking super amazing in the first place, but it wasn't this broken, that's for sure. It was actually in good shape. We're just gonna take everything apart like we usually do, and we're gonna be refinishing this piece because it's pretty gross. I think these were like old church chairs, so it has religious trauma everywhere. Just kidding. I love Jesus. Okay. And on the side that really shattered here, we've got a big break across one of the cross members here, as well as down here. Here's the rest of that dowel breaking out where the other stress points were. And some pretty gross upholstery, which I think we should recover this chair. Why not? Let's go the whole way. So let's get this chair apart and let's just go piece by piece and repair all of the breakage, get this upholstery off, strip off all this old finish, and see how pretty we can actually make it. Let's get to work. So that's gonna go into a T-nut that's gonna be in the seat. Kind of one of those knockdown type chairs, but nicely made. Oh, it's a Canadian made piece. That's interesting. Made in Canada. This is just a materials tag. So basically all of the screws that you see sticking out here, those go into the side of the arm somewhere, and we bent some of these pretty good. So we're gonna have to replace some screws. Guess that's what falling off a bridge does. Well, that's quite an easy way to upholster it. Just has like a folded over flap. I kind of like how low profile it is. It looks kind of nice, but not very comfy. I'll put a little bit more padding in there. I think the chair is upset with me. Let me talk to it for a little while. Okay, it's all apart. Let's get fixing. Are you really looking to stand out in a sea of websites, blogs, and portfolios? Squarespace Blueprint AI and search engine optimization tools make it effortless to build a completely personalized web presence, giving access to professional and technological features to those who would rather be doing something else. Smart visual design tools such as built-in clickable links,
social media buttons, and the ability to add flexible e-commerce with a few clicks gives your website a leg up on the competition. If you're ready to get noticed and take yourself or your business to the next level, go to squarespace.com/John's Furniture Repair and enjoy a free trial. When you're ready to launch that website, blog, or portfolio, use code John's Furniture Repair to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Okay, so it's the next day. We're gonna get all these clamps off. See what we ended up with. So like a lot of you are gonna be like, why don't you just make a new leg? No, that's against the rules that I set for myself. That's not allowed. So end of story. Not too bad. It's really just that one leg that shattered into about 6 pieces. That looks perfectly fine. That turned out really nice right there on that one. This was a rather easy break to fix though. It's this guy right here. This one. This is the troublemaker right here. This is the one that you see blowing up on camera. So I'm kind of interested to see if we have anything at all here, because I really couldn't see as I was clamping it in. Basically, I just used a ton of glue into every fiber that I could get it into and then squished it in all 4 directions. So it's kind of like MDF now, you know, squishing a bunch of little slivers of wood together. Or glue and sawdust is MDF, but this is like particle board, I guess. So what's the difference? Cannot see because it's under lots of tape, but it looks like a leg. I actually can't believe I did this all in one round because I was thinking of doing it in a couple of different stages, because there were so many different things going on. So that looks, it looks like a leg. It looks like we got some things. There's some issues coming around here where we got some pieces missing in the inside here. Let's see if I have that piece. This piece here looks like it was supposed to be inset into this leg right here, so I might have to just shave that off. And this piece too here, I might be able to get that squished down again. But honestly, guys, for what we started with, this is looking like an actual leg again. So it's a miracle. Just glue and clamps, you know, put everything back together. So I'm gonna get this over the vise and clean it up and see exactly what we gotta do here. Okay, so I've got this stick in the second round of clamping, just a couple of those fibers sticking up that I got down. We're going to have to do some chip replacement fibers that just weren't salvageable. We'll have to inlay a piece of oak right there and there. And I think the rest of it's good. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that in clamps for the day. The rest of everything is looking really good. We've got everything repaired. All these sticks are looking really good. All the glue up's really nice. We have this little inlay piece missing, so, or this, not inlay, but this chunk here missing, so we'll inlay a piece as well right there. Got a couple of dings that we'll have to fix like that. This piece just has some glue cleanup mainly. Looking good otherwise. And then we just have to get the tape off of this one here. And I think this will be just fine as well. You can just look at the break. It laid down really nice. So I think we're off to a really good start. I did find a name on this stuff. It's pressed in. Henderson. So yeah, St. Lambert, Quebec. So nice Canadian-made furniture. There's 29 more of these chairs in the store, so I'm not going to do that many. I'm just doing this one for fun for you guys. Anyways, so I'm going to get on to a couple of these repairs now and start really getting this wood whole. And then we can think about stripping this old gunky finish off. Okay, so I'm recruiting some help from my daughter, who is going to pull all these staples out of this yucky fabric for me. Thanks, Mila. Alrighty, so I've got all the patches inlaid into the pieces that we didn't have or that were too splintered to put back on. So there's 3 of them. And I just decided to cut out the splinters so I could get a nice seam. So yeah, the rest of this was just going to be a good sand, and any little things will get a little putty. I think the worst part is probably around there. Everything else is going to be acceptable. So let me get this straight, you guys. If this was a customer's chair, I would just be making a new leg. But I'm doing this for fun to see, how far I can push a repair. So so far we're getting there. I mean, it's taking a little skill and time, but it's for fun. So I think we're going to get a nice leg out of it in the end, and we're going to be doing a light finish. So won't be able to hide too much of my repairs. I'll have to do a good job. So other than that, we got everything else out of clamps. These 2 are probably ready to come out. So let's get to stripping this finish off. All right, so I've got this out of the clamps this morning. All our patches are here, looking pretty gnarly. So I'm just gonna put these through the bandsaw roughly, and then we'll use a planer to get them down. I'm gonna have to re-drill that dowel hole there. Probably a couple of things. I should probably re-drill all of the dowel holes just so they're nice and clean. But this is the most unnecessary, crazy repair that I've ever done. Anyways, let's get it cut down and get it looking a little better. Okay, so I want to talk about this plastic spatula in conjunction with oak and any other high tannin woods. Often if you have, this is a water-based putty, and you use something like just a steel putty knife, you will actually get some water staining. It's not water staining, but it's water working with the metal and then reacting with the tannins of the oak. You get the same thing if you want to do like an ebonized finish with vinegar and steel wool on oak. It works really well because of the high tannins. So I just opt for a plastic spatula instead, because then you're not dealing with all those water stains in places you don't want them. It's not usually a big deal if you get a couple. You can usually sand things out. But if you're going for a lighter finish, you kind of want to be careful which type of material you're using for your tools that's touching the wood, because it can be, a pretty dark area. I've got a little bit of the tape stuck in these grains, so I'm going to pick that out and putty it up. But otherwise, I think we're looking pretty good here. I think we have a leg. I've been like trying to break it over my knee. It seems pretty strong. So yeah, looking pretty good. That's all like grime. I'm gonna scrape a bit of it off, but I'm just gonna sand this. There's barely any finish left anyways. Looks like I need to glue this down a little bit more. This one was broken here, and as well right here. This piece fell out. Alrighty, so we've got everything repaired and puttied in the last stages of prep. So last thing I'm gonna do is sand everything with 180 by hand. Just getting all the putty spots evened out and smoothing out any of the sander marks. We sanded with the power sander with 180, so not a aggressive grit. But yeah, we've got a little bit of sanding to do. A lot of it didn't have a lot of marks, just basically where I threw it off the bridge, it had marks. So it was in good shape. The other thing we need to get thinking about, and I have been thinking about it, is the upholstery. So my daughter yesterday helped me get the staples out of everything, and we're gonna be putting on a new 1/2-inch foam here. Gluing that onto the back and the seat, and she actually sewed up a back piece for me yesterday because I am absolutely useless on the sewing machine. I think we'll just use this cover piece on the top again because it's in good condition still, but give it a new foam, and I'll show you what the fabric is later because you have to have surprises or else you're gonna leave. Just kidding. Okay, so let's get to sanding. Alrighty, so we have come to the part where we're gonna reglue the chair. Everything is looking really good. Nothing is unsalvageable here. So we're gonna put together the little A-frames that go on the side first. So these guys here that have the really broken parts, they basically, one side was all left together and the other side was destroyed. So we're gonna put these two sides together and then we can put all of the cross members in with the fasteners. And then we're gonna see, you know, if it actually stands up and I can sit on it. Haven't decided completely on the finish yet. I do want something to go like a little bit more natural, a little bit more white oak-ish, although this is red oak. So I'm thinking about bleaching, but I don't know if I wanna get into that. You can kind of see the little pinkish hue in the wood there. I don't know if you can on camera, sometimes color doesn't translate. But anyways, it'd be nice if it was like a white oak, because the fabric I chose would look really good with that. So we're just gonna get this thing put together, and then I'm gonna do a little color test on one of the pieces just to see what it looks like natural. I know that it's not gonna be completely natural, whatever we're going with, just because we have some repairs to hide and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's get some glue rolling and get this thing back together.
It's the next morning. Let's get these clamps off. Okay, there it is, all of the clamps, looking pretty good. And now it's time to start thinking about what I'm gonna do for a finish. So I just wanted to see what it's gonna look like without anything. And a lot of you are like, oh, I hate stain. Not a lot of you. Some people are wood purists who think there shouldn't be any stain or any color put on wood. I don't agree with that. I think, especially when it's refinished wood, you get so many different tones. You got like a really light area with a really dark area and black grain. There'll be 1,000 different things going on in this chair otherwise. If this was a new build construction, it was just all the same oak and it never been stained or refinished or repaired, yeah, go ahead and put a natural finish on it. Probably look great, but I always think it looks blotchy and unfinished when you don't do anything to the wood to do some color correction. And I don't want to hide the grain, but I want things to look clean. So it's looking like, you know, where I had to sand quite a bit and where I sanded quite a bit here too, that there's just going to be a whole lot of different tones going on. And this really yellow tone of the oak is not really what I'm going for. So I think what I'm going to do is put a 2-part bleach on the whole thing to start with. That'll do half the work for me, so that's not too hard to do. They're not connected right now, so I'll just take them apart and do that and see where we get to with that. So I'm going to mix up a batch of wood bleach, and I use Goudy's wood bleach here. They've got a 2-part system. And it works pretty good. And this type of bleach, wood bleach, will remove the natural color from your wood. If you're looking to remove mineral staining and lighten the wood slightly, oxalic acid will do that for you. If you're looking to remove dye stain or stains from other colorants, that's your regular bleach. So we're gonna mix up a batch of this and get it all over the chair and see how it looks after that. Alrighty, so these have dried and I've given them a light sand with 180. Oops. And so I'm just going to put a clear coat on them and see what color we've ended up with. It's going to be lighter than it was, but it's looking good. I really won't know what direction I'm going until I get that clear coat on because that changes everything. So I'm just going to use my Pre-Cat flat Magnamax by Emma Campbell and coat this and see. It'll probably be blotchy. It'll turn a little bit more yellow. And there'll be areas that are lighter and areas that are darker, areas with darker grain. Some of the repairs are gonna show. So it's gonna be a bit of a mess, but it'll be my beginning point. So that's where we're gonna be toning in a finish. And I might use probably 3 or 4 colors to tone it in to the direction I wanna go. So let me throw a mask on, turn the booth on, and get this thing coated with some lacquer. All right, so here's what it looks like. Got a little bit more of that yellow tone. I don't hate it. I think it's headed in the direction I want, kind of like a weathered
natural oak look, but I am gonna even it out a little bit because there's, you know, darker spots here and that grain's really loud. Although when the seat's on, you won't really see that too much. But what I'm thinking to do is just give it a little bit of, I wanna keep the warmth of the wood. I don't wanna go anything like gray tones or anything like that, but I want to kind of even out the end grain here and all the dark areas. So I think I'm gonna do a bleach tone in like a little bit of a warmer brown, not a white bleach tone. And bleach toning is just kind of like a sprayed, very diluted whitewash or brown washer. It's just toning everything down a little bit, and for oak that really works very nicely because of all the loud grain. So I'm just gonna be saying shh to the grain. So I think I'm gonna do that with like a brownish warm toner first. And then I might add in a little bit of my Morel. This is this mushroom colored toner that I really like. It's got a really mousy brown with a little bit of gray in there, but you don't really see gray. You see more of that like, kind of like warm mousy brown. So I think that's gonna be really good. Other than that, we have some touch-ups on our repairs here, our leg, our poor leg. You know, went through some unnecessary trauma. Oh, I totally missed a spot. Okay, I'll have to spray that first. I missed this whole back. What is wrong with me? Anyways, yeah, so we've got some touch-ups to do on the repairs. This piece didn't sustain as much damage, so it's looking really good, but we'll do the same thing there. And I think we're headed in the direction of finished. And I've got all that upholstery done too. So I'm getting excited. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a very light application of this bleach toner called Khaki. You can kind of see the color there. And then I'm gonna follow that up with a little bit more of a darkish, grayish, mousy brown. And if I need to shift it, we'll go from there, but that's where I'm gonna start. So I'm just gonna show you one area because it's hard to film everything and talk while the fan is running. So we'll do this horizontal stick here. So first just a really light application of the Khaki. That's gonna say shh to all that grain, especially on this piece. Right there. And then we're gonna come in with our Morel. So there's the color. I'm just gonna hit it with a bit of lacquer so you can see, as we're doing a flat finish as well. That's the color there. It's got kind of a muted tone, but I want to keep that warmth in the wood opposed to the really bright yellow. So I'll just do that to the whole thing. I think I really like that. Okay, I'm not going to give you too many more looks at this. I'm just sanded it with 320. I'm going to give it the final coat of the flat lacquer, and then we're going to put this puppy together and she's done. So next clip is finished. Alrighty, there it is, all put back together, looking sophisticated, like nothing ever happened. What do you guys think about the color? I like the natural oak without so much of the really vibrant yellow. And the upholstery is just kind of a nice light touch. Kind of accents all of the wood. So where is our shattered leg? Let's see here. Can you guys find it? Where did it go? Where could it be? Where is it? I'm not telling. So thanks for joining me on this weird adventure of self-imposed work. We don't have any time for it. I hope you had fun. I did. This old church chair has a really nice new lease on life and is looking fabulous. So thanks again, guys, for watching the videos. If you want to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description below this video. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Cheers.